My mental preparations for the game are very different than most. I try to relax myself. I'm a jokester, a prankster, if you want to say it that way. I listen to music, I joke around with the guys, I take my whole mind away from the game itself, and then when the time comes to focus on the game, I focus on my athletic skills and putting it together with the team, and somehow collectively going out and doing our jobs each and every day. I challenge myself to be the best basketball player every moment that I'm playing the game of basketball. And sometimes that means tricking yourself in your mind to say that you can't do this or your weaknesses are here, but yet you still try to work on improving those weaknesses. A lot of people may say, well, Michael Jordan never had weaknesses. Michael Jordan had weaknesses. He just had to dig deep inside himself to figure out what they were and challenge himself to improve those weaknesses. So mentally, I like to challenge myself to go out and play a perfect basketball game. Although I know you can't do that. It's practically impossible to play a perfect game, but that doesn't mean you can't challenge yourself to do that.
Well, I mean, either way, my life has been a fishbowl no matter what. You know, on the court, off the court, that's just something that I've kind of created for myself and certainly of my family. But I think being that I'm older, I know how to deal with that, especially for my family's sake. You know, when I'm with my family, that's my private life. That's certainly, you know, my time with them. I think one thing I kind of totally forgot, you know, once I retired 18 months ago, was my love for the game of basketball. As much as I tried to stay away from the game, I mean, the more times that I played, the more times that my appetite got wet. So, you know, once the baseball situation kind of diffused a little bit, I mean, it was good for me. I think it really gave me a chance to get my mind away from the game of basketball and more or less go back to the basics of, you know, participating, you know, not from a standard of, you know, high standards that I've set for myself, but down where I had to work to get what I got. Well, the way that I see it is it's the neighborhood. It's the same neighborhood, but it's a different house. And it's a lot of resemblance to my new home or to the old home, but I guess, you know, things have changed, and it's pretty modern, and certainly you have to make it your home, and you have to bring some of those pieces from the old place to here just to make it your new home. So I'd rather have the old stadium, but you know, in terms of modifications, I have to deal with this. And you know, for the time being, this is going to be my home until I get comfortable. Well, I mean, I got to finish out my contract, and you know, that's a couple of years, I think. And from that point on, I mean, I got to evaluate what my interests are at that particular time. And I don't want to look so far in the future that, you know, I'm pressed to live out a certain schedule. My life has always been, and my motto has always been to live it day by day, you know, and not try to think so far in advance that you kind of forget about the present. You know, I want to live for the present at this particular time, and the present is that I'm playing for the Bulls now, and I look forward to finishing out my contract. Now, what happens from that point on, you know, certainly is whatever I feel at that moment. The thing that I feel is the crowd and the inspiration that they always have given me in the past, and I don't anticipate it being any different. You know, I mean, that's the adrenaline that the home crowd presents to their home team. I'm a part of this home team now, so I look forward to that adrenaline going through me, and certainly the inspiration to prove to the city of Chicago that we're not ready to go to wait till next year attitudes. We still have an opportunity to make things happen now, and just don't give up on us. Just, you know, support us as they always have, and we will certainly try to do the best job that we can on the basketball court. I don't know. I think the next 14 games is going to be very crucial in terms of how we can, you know, create our own identity. You know, with that team that won 3 championships, we had our identity, and you know, everyone knew their respective roles. Now, with this team, you're trying to find, you know, the niches where everybody can fit into where it's a complete puzzle. You know, how big my piece is going to be, I don't know. You know, in the last, you know, my last 3 years with the Bulls, you know, it was a big piece, but yet it fitted perfectly, and everything dictated in terms of how the other guys expanded their pieces. I mean, I don't think it should change. I think that, you know, my productivity is going to rely upon what these guys are able to do and how well they can expand. He has a better understanding in terms of the expectations that a player of his caliber, and certainly of my caliber, have to live up to day in and day out. I think that's one thing that really has made him that much better as a player. Is the 18 months that I was away, he had to deal with some of those similarities that I had to deal with, you know, when I was here. So that I think mentally he becomes a little bit more stronger and can deal with certain things in different ways, but yet his competitive and certainly his everyday game have to be, he has to find different challenges every day so that he can maintain that consistency. I think that's one thing about your great players and your good players. Great players do it every night. Good players do it once in a while. You know, I think Scotty's starting to, understand the difference between the two, and he certainly has the talent and the credibility. Pippen and I had that understanding, my last 3 years, or when we won the 3 championships. So I think it's capable. We're capable of understanding that, and I think Tony's going to have to implement that, and learn how to do that amongst the 3 of us. It gives us a lot of versatility as a team, which is very strong in this game today. The versatility, the different matchups that you have to deal with. So I think the more we play with each other, we can understand certain things that make players comfortable and make them more productive. So 3 threats, that's a great weapon to have, especially going into the playoff. And it's a great weapon when you know what your other players are capable of doing. And I think that's one thing that I'm trying to find out about Tony. I think he knows about me, but he's yet to see it, is the understanding of how to complete a game and what he can rely upon.